It's Eric Bakker, the naturopath. Thank you for coming back and checking out my videos. I hope you've had a good look at the channel, the Eric Bakker Naturopath channel on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff on this channel. I've been working on this channel now for about 7 years, I think, or 8 years. So trying to provide lots of useful information for people. Try not to be biased, just to give people information straight up that I found useful after spending quite a lot of time in the clinic with patients, learning many different things from people more than anything. So, question here is, can Candida remove interact with any other medications? That's a good question. I may have already answered this question in a previous video a few years ago, I can't remember now. But the answer is, it really depends on what you're taking and how much you are taking. Some people I've seen over the years are on 10 or 12 pharmaceutical drugs. So when it comes to situations like that, it's probably not really a good idea to put dietary supplements like Remove into the mix. Normally, if I would see someone on, large amounts of pharmaceutical medications, I would try and work in with their GP, with their medical doctor and the patient, but also see what the patient wants. Do they want to reduce some of these medications? What are they going to do? I really can't see the benefit in somebody like 60, my age, being on 10 pharmaceutical drugs. No, all I can see is one drug's basically, countering the side effects of another drug kind of thing. So, but of course not everybody is on such a massive amount of pharmaceuticals. But most people, my age and up, are at least on one drug. By the time you get to 70, you're usually on 2 or 3 drugs. Now, how do I know that? Well, funny you ask that. I was in Melbourne, in Australia, several years ago at a medical conference. And I overheard a couple of people from a particular pharmaceutical company talking. And I walked up to these 2 gentlemen and I heard one say to the other, it's our aim by the time someone's 70 to have them on at least 2 pharmaceutical medications. And of course then I chipped in and I said, but what if they don't need it? What's your problem, man? We're a marketing company. We got to make money. I said, yeah, but what about people's health? What's your problem? I just said, thanks, I'll let it go. And I started to realize that the motive was not about the person. It was about trying to get everybody 70 and beyond on at least 2 medications. So if you're a person who's been to a doctor, my age or older, and are told you must take this drug, it may be good for you also to get other opinions on that, But yeah, a lot of people my age are still old school and they believe that the doctor still is like Jesus. So you need to be careful. So younger people now, of course, are changing. They're not so keen to be on handfuls of pharmaceuticals because they're starting to see lots of problems around the world as a result of pharmaceuticals. The opioid crisis that we've seen in America is a prime example. So the interactions are not usually an issue unless you're taking large amounts of many different types of drugs. And in that case, often you'll have liver or kidney issues because these drugs do toxify the body. And many people on top of that don't really drink enough water, but still manage to drink fruit juices, soda drinks and alcohol with these medications. So they can get very sick when you start putting something like Candida Remove in the mix. But for someone taking 1 or 2 pharmaceuticals, it's not usually an issue. And for people taking other dietary supplements, I don't find it really an issue at all. But again, I think the best one I've seen in terms of number was a lady taking almost 60 supplements in one day. I think I wrote about this in my book. And you can actually literally see 1 or 2 pages full of everything she was taking. So some people do that too. So when you're taking 30, 40, 50 dietary supplements a day, like different ones, and then try and put the Candida products on top of that, you could have big issues. There could be bloating and gas and brain fog and all kinds of things because you're going to get all sorts of interactions occurring. So the Candida products are best used in a gut digestive system that's free from pharmaceuticals, preferably, or if the person is taking it, only like minimal, and also free from someone taking huge amounts of self-prescribed dietary supplements, because that can cause issues as well. So if you're in those categories taking large amounts of stuff, it might be good for you to have an appointment with someone to see how you can cut back on all those handfuls of pills that you're taking. But if you're not like that, I don't see an issue with people on a few prescriptions. I really don't. But of course, always work under the guidance of your doctor. If your doctor, he or she, wishes you not to be on these things, on CanXida, I can understand that too. And then, of course, you make up your own mind. And that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for tuning in.